So I hope everyone is enjoying Jellyfest so far. Spank my ass and call me Charlene. It's only Eric Dover on the line. How are you doing, Eric?
Hello, Charlene, and how are you this evening?
I'm good, and this is Sunny.
Hello, Charlene.
He's so cute. Oh, he's a bit camera shy. I'm gonna let him go. If
Okay.
Rocco wants to come up, I'm gonna. If Sunny wants to sit on my lap, then no, you should go. There you go. So yeah, how you doing? You okay?
Yeah, going great, man. Everything's just beautiful. It's a beautiful day here in Burbank, California, and just working on music and the rest.
Mm-hmm. So does Burbank? Does it make you more creative having moved?
Well, it just makes you creative in a different way. LA's a huge city, and there's a lot of culture shock in the city as well. So it's always kind of a different flavor if you move anywhere, whether it's Hollywood or the Valley or, South Bay or Montecito Heights. I mean, just wherever.
I'm also trying to look at the camera. I learned this from Tim's interview. During Tim's interview, I'm not looking at the camera. I'm kind of looking at you or at him. I'm
looking at you, but I can't see really well. So,
do you remember your first TV appearance ever? Like, was it Love Bang or earlier? Like, were you on like local TV?
We were on local TV, WBRC 6 in Birmingham, Alabama. Love Bang was. And what's funny about that is we were out drinking all night long, tequila. Like we were completely smashed when we went on TV. And I wish there was a recording of it because tequila kind of makes you sarcastic. And it didn't make me sarcastic, but it made one of the guys kind of sarcastic. And the weatherman was trying to interview him. He goes, "Yeah, you've got a really good sound, sort of like Seals and Crocs." And I don't remember what one of our members said, but it was really snide, and it just went pew, completely over the head, But we were smashed.
And did you play a song on that?
Yes, we played 2 songs. And WBRC 6 is quite, a big station, the biggest probably. But yeah, man, like that was the first probably real TV appearance aside from Jellyfish that I'd ever done.
See, now we know this exists. Someone has to find it. Everything shows up eventually. How embarrassed would you be? Like, how much hair product did you use?
I used a fair amount. I can be certain of it. I still was like I was way into the hair products, more like 85, but I kind of calmed down a bit. Yeah, we still did a lot of the hair products. That's Chris Baker on the left, Tony Brock, the singer, Scott Collier, and myself. And then we're missing the bass player.
He didn't show up. He didn't show up.
He didn't show up, but I mean that's the core lineup. Yes.
Uh-huh.
And Chris Baker and Tony Brock and I went to school together in college. Junior college. So that's where we met. Music program and playing big band music, learning composition, taking music theory courses, and wearing 3/4 length coats and pretending that we were in Wang Chung.
So this, I'm guessing this is this the original release? Because it kind of had a second lease of life, didn't it? Through Not Lame Records, I believe. Like what happened with that? Did Bruce Brodeen get in touch, or did you contact him, or?
I had nothing to do with the Love Bang re-releases. That's Chris Baker that took care of all that. So, yeah, I know about that release that you held up, and where it's went from there. I mean, I hope it can stay in print because I'm really proud of the music. And Tony Brock was an amazing vocalist. I mean, he was off-putting to some people, but to me, he just sounded angelic. And he was a great friend, so I miss him.
So with because I interviewed Tim as well, and he said things like Shiver Machine, sort of a kind of a long lost project. It's going to make its way out there at some point eventually. Something like Love Bang, will that show up on streaming platforms? Who owns the songs? Like, who has the final say with this? Because I think people need to listen to it, because, if nothing else, there is I want to say alternate, but it's kind of the original version of Could Have Been You, which ended up as an Imperial Drag song, and it's a very different arrangement as well, and it's worth checking out.
Well, okay, yeah, well, as far as how it pertains, yes. And here's the quick story on that is Chris Baker and a guy named Courtney McGuckin studied engineering, came in, audio engineer. He got a job at Ardent Studios in Memphis. And the demos that Chris and Tony were working on at the time got the ear of Jody Stevens from Big Star, the drummer.
Okay.
And then so as a result, I was brought in later, and we all kind of got together and started writing a lot of stuff. We wrote a lot of stuff. And then we would go up there on like maybe on a weekend, once every couple of months, and then there would be downtime. We did all of it during downtime until we signed the production deal. It was 2 a.m. On these gigantic, Ardent Studios, interestingly enough, that's also where I met Greg Allman, and Dickie Betts. I hung out with Dickie Betts, and we had a lot of, we talked, had a couple of beers together, and I just like, man, what irreplaceable experiences. So Jody Stevens, wonderful drummer and Big Star. We all love him.
So how familiar were Andy and Roger with Love Bang, or because you auditioned for Jellyfish, didn't you?
Yes.
And,
yeah.
And you were in Alabama, and how did it work? You played or sang along to backing tracks? Is that correct? And then they were blown away by your voice, I guess.
For the audition?
For the audition, or did I get that completely wrong? See, I'm old now, I forget stuff.
Well, I think the real test came. We were staying at some kind of ratty ass hotel, Tim and I, on Hollywood Boulevard near the Chinese Theater, if I remember correctly. And they were busy mixing Spilt Milk, and we couldn't really even hang out because they were like way up in it. So I think one of the last nights Andy was able to come in, and we all sat there, I think, with an acoustic guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And I already had the demos, and we just sang in a room together. And I had strep throat, so I was in pain and nervous. I think it was the smog.
Yeah, I guess so. So in terms of when you were having to sort of adapt to the Jellyfish songs that were already played live, all the Belly Button songs, how much were you allowed to put your own print, like your own stamp on these things, or was it kind of, because the story was always, Andy and Jason, there was bad blood, but then when guitarists came into audition, Andy was like, he's okay, but he's not like Jason. So it's like, well, why did you not get along with him in the first place, sort of thing? How much were you able to put your own stamp on the songs?
Well, by virtue of being there with a guitar on me. Mm-hmm. But I think in the terms of any of the stuff that Jason played on, I was pretty much a fan of from the get-go. And so, I could never be what he does. I just had to find my own place in it. And so that took, that was some experimenting with gear a little bit, and it's kind of how you wanted to do it. we had places where we could ride out to, like at the end of All I Want Is Everything, you know, where you could go, oh, here, take a ride. I still had it pretty worked out though, because I was a big fan of whole note descending sequences at the time. It was like, oh, that sounds really cool, you know.
For me,
so you can hear it on all that stuff.
Yeah, for me, some of your best Jellyfish work was those live performances of All I Want Is Everything, when you were allowed to just let rip at the end.
Well, it's refreshing. All of it had a discipline to it live, and it came off in a very timely way from the stage, man. Like Sabrina Paste and Play-Doh was pretty far out to play in front of 10,000 people. It really was.
That German gig that's kind of made it out there because it was broadcast on TV. You do the kind of, I guess, Partridge Family, you know, stood with a square around you with your name under it. Do you remember having to just like stand there looking awkward for like a little bit because everyone's kind of staring at the camera, but you're kind of like just like, I don't know what to do.
Gosh, I'm trying to remember that. I think I know what you're talking about. I was confused from the onset. I mean, you know, somebody had to be confused during this process, and I really took it upon myself to do the best that I could in that regard. No, but you know.
Did you feel that sort of doing stuff in different countries, especially a country like Japan, where, you know, they asked if you could do the Eleanor Rigby cover? That seemed weird. I mean, was it just kind of like you were just being thrown into just various situations and just it didn't matter? You could just do whatever was needed, I guess.
Well, we found out really quick what that was about when we got to Japan, and I was fine with doing it. I always kind of look at those things as a challenge, really. So, like, you know, you're a musician. What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to play music, right? So, if it's the right context, then you know it's okay to do a cover here and there. You know, Eleanor Rigby, that's a tall order, so that was a bit intimidating. But I believe, you know, Roger had a really nice piano. It sounded gorgeous, as I remember. And then Tim and I sat around with acoustic guitars in the hotel room and just kind of went with that. It was kind of a waltz. It was sort of a 6/8. So we were kind of trying to do a substitution arrangement that wouldn't take away too hard from the original, you know, being fans.
Yeah. Did you find it sort of, how insistent was that guy who hits the drum and goes, what? How insistent was he in being part of the song?
Do
you not remember that?
No, I don't remember. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm older than you.
No, okay, fair enough. I do realize.
The Japanese guy.
Yeah, at the start of the song.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that was awesome. You know what? That was really nice, wasn't it? Because I was like, that is totally culturally like completely alien to anything I've ever seen, man. I loved it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like I've asked enough like serious questions now. As a journalist.
No, that's fine. My memory won't fail me from now on, I promise.
Well, as what I loosely base myself as a journalist, you know, with hardcore questions. So, yeah, I'm going to ask you what I asked him. Being in a band called Jellyfish, what is your favorite type of Jello and your favorite type of fish?
I like strawberry Jello. And
making notes.
I like regular fish and chips. Like when I was in Scotland not too long ago, and I got proper ones. So I'm going to go with cod, you know.
Well, in LA, I'm guessing there's a lot of British style pubs.
Yes, you can get things like that here. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Yeah, it was kind of weird being in Hollywood and sort of seeing things that are readily available at home. And they were just like a gimmick in Hollywood.
Yeah. I mean, there's some authentic sort of pub kind of things like Cat and Fiddle in Hollywood. That's proper.
Hmm.
But getting the right fish and chips was a bit of a problem. There's some good ones here, but we all eat sushi mainly too. Like that's a whole different story, but
I went
a
when I
lot of
was
sushi.
yeah when I was in Hollywood. I felt like an absolute fraud. I mean, I wasn't dressed for the occasion. Everyone dressed like Kanye or dressed like Beyonce. You know what I mean? Just like, even if they're not rich or famous or anything, it's just kind of, the look and presentation is everything. And I roll up like a complete bum, eating $200 sushi. I mean, when that bill came, I nearly shit all that sushi back out very quickly. But luckily, the people that I were with, because if you live in Hollywood, come on, you've got some expendable income. They were like, "Nah, we'll get this," and I was just like, because like some of this sushi, I mean, it was incredible. Like it was in the shape of like a dragon, and I didn't think about because in England, all you can eat sushi maybe £20 or something like that, and I was having all I could eat, and then saw the price tag at the end of it. But yeah, I had my best ever burger in Hollywood at 25 Degrees, which apparently was Prince's favorite burger restaurant. And I had the ribeye steak burger, and it was incredible.
I haven't done that yet.
Oh, we'll have to do
Oh,
this.
well, I got to do that.
When
let's do that when you get to town.
Yeah, I'm going to be there soon enough. Well, the only problem was because I was drinking like a fish, and the bathroom, I mean, the foyer, it's a tiny restaurant, no bigger than this room, it seems. And then the foyer was about the size of 10 football pitches to get to the bathroom. So, I wasn't expecting that. And I nearly exploded on the way to the bathroom. So, do bear this in mind. See, this is the kind of hardcore. You've been asked every question, you see, so I feel like I have to like turn this in, take this conversation into different.
Hey, I think you just kind of have to go with your heart at this point.
So we've got the Imperial Drag merch stand behind me. So who was running your merch stand at Imperial Drag gigs? Was it just whoever ran the venue?
Oh God, that's a long story. I don't know. I'm pressed to remember. Like, I think we had local people from the merchandising company do that.
Uh-huh.
If I'm not mistaken. So it was a different one every night.
That's Rocco.
Hey, Meow.
Yeah, come here, Rocco.
And I'm sorry if I'm forgetting somebody very important. Very well could. I just, merch was never my thing.
Did you guys sort of sit at the merch booth after the gig and meet the fans and everything, or were you straight in the limo? And
yeah, we did a little of that. We certainly would hang out and sign some autographs. We did Tower Records here.
Nice.
They used to have little concerts, and you'd show up and play for all the customers, and so that was cool. That was really cool.
Have you been to the new Amoeba yet?
No, I haven't. I look forward to going. I'm just glad that we still have a place to go record shopping.
Oh God! When I went to Amoeba, I was there for. I mean, again, I was with friends who go enough to not have to be there for 4 hours, but I was there for 4 hours just looking through everything. It was ridiculous. Yeah, it was great, and I love again that there was a British import section, and some of the prices on these imports was like insane for like things like if you ever need any British stuff, I can get you like far cheaper than you could at Amoeba, I guess.
Oh yeah, they know the market extremely well, and that's Amoeba is great. I mean, I have a couple of personal favorites that I like too that are maybe smaller. One of them was on Santa Monica, and I think it was like an archive place that only would rent to film and TV people, so they could do transfers.
Oh wow,
that was cool. But you could still rent records there. I can't remember the name of that place, and I don't even know if it's still there. But there was another place on like Franklin and Vermont or somewhere around that area called Counterpoint. And they had like a book record store, not as big a selection, but still impressive. So I used to like to go shop there as also. Haven't been in a long time.
Nice. So that's the thing. I feel like I did all the touristy stuff last time, and I did a kind of an unofficial jellyfish pilgrimage. Like I went to Vasquez Rocks, where King is Half Undressed was filmed. I went to East West Studios. I stood in the, everyone's like, because Beach Boys, Frank Sinatra, everyone, and I'm just like, no, it's the Spilt Milk Studios, which people were just like, got a kick out of. So I've done all that this time. So this time I need to go to Burbank Sports Cards that do trading cards. I'm a big collector of trading cards. I may spend an entire day in there. And the plan is to go out there and be as cheap as possible. So maybe just 125 degrees burger, because I think that was like $30 or something. So
yeah, it's probably pretty holy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Burbank actually has a lot of really cool places like sports trading cards. There's a really fantastic hobby shop. I could walk to it, and like it's every trains and all that stuff. All those kind of related miniature sceneries and things. And
I'm big on all of that. So yeah, we have to do that.
Yeah. We'll take a walk down there. I've never been in yet, but I've seen it for years. Because you'll always see it if you're driving to the Burbank airport. But man, in my perfect world, I would like to have a train that runs through all the walls of my house and just brings me sushi and liquor and
I like the idea of that. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap up with a few very important questions. Do you remember what you were doing 10 years ago? Because this is the 10th anniversary of this very Jellyfish page.
I think I was working on sexist material then.
I think that's about right.
It's about right. And I just met you, and we had struck up a friendship. And
do you remember what you first replied to me about? You probably won't.
No.
It was a Jan Terry video.
Oh yeah, right, Jan Terry.
Because it was, as I said to Tim, it was kind of weird for me to sort of have a band and a group of musicians change my life for the better, and then have them be on Facebook. So I was just like, do I add these people? Do I talk to them? I don't know, And then you were very kind to, notice the Jan Terry video, because I love Jan Terry, and we kind of hit it off from there. And you played on a couple of my things, and I'm very honored that you've allowed me to be a part of your life in some form.
Well, I'm honored that we've become great friends through the years, and I think you're a very talented man. I like your music as well. So
I swear this whole 10th anniversary thing isn't just this is your life, blow smoke up my ass thing. This is for the entire group, but like the fact that I get to talk to you guys is fun. It's not just an ego trip.
I enjoy it. I enjoy and appreciate everyone that has followed any of us through the years, and Jellyfish. Very special. So, much love to everyone.
Very cool. Well, I'm going to ask you a few very important questions from this emergency questions book.
Emergency questions. Ooh.
Yeah. Well, usually this is for when we run out of things to talk about, but I feel like there's more that we can talk about, and I want to talk about what's upcoming as well for Sextus and Licorice Quartet. But some of these questions are highly inappropriate.
Great. Why not?
Okay. If you had to bathe in excrement, what animal or individual human's excrement would you choose to bathe in?
Hummingbird shit.
Yeah, okay, fine. I think it's good luck, isn't it? If a bird shits you, so if you're bathing,
it's the least voluminous of any shit that I can imagine. So.
Okay. Okay. Can we get completely offensive? Well, not completely offensive. I guarantee you've never been asked this before, and this may be the end of our friendship when I ask this. What would it take for you to drink a pint of bull semen?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that would be like to me.
Mm-hmm.
That would be like maybe traveling to some exotic part of like Indonesia or Southeast Asia or something.
Uh-huh.
And so, if I could get a cool million out of that, with enough alcohol, and I could probably pull it off. I mean, for the money,
you can mix some. You can mix some honey in there, just to.
No, I would just power drink it. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, I'm like more liquor. Like I would have to do that. I mean, I wouldn't be like, wait a minute. Let me take a sip of this bull semen that I'm going to get $1 million to drink a pint of. A pint is pretty big, you know what I mean? Especially a bull semen. And that's just, I'm trying to think logistically, but.
Okay, one more.
Okay.
Well, one of the questions is, have you ever tried sushi? So I'm not going to ask you that. Okay, is there anything purple within 10 feet of you?
Yeah, my light, kind of purpley looking.
I'm glad you didn't go much ruder with that, because you could have. Oh,
the purple. You mean a purple stiff one? Well, that goes without saying.
So yeah, okay.
They call it a blue veiner in certain parts of the southeastern U.S.
Yeah, I think I've heard you use that in a song as well.
Have I?
Have you used it in Madison's Riverside restaurant?
Oh, right. I think I did. Yeah, well, that's a really filthy one. That's probably, I don't know if I'll ever release it, but it's a good listen.
Well, that we've teased now, so I think we'll leave it. Okay, we'll do one more. Does sex with a robot count as cheating on your partner?
Well, no. And the reason is, it's bloody nuts and bolts, isn't it? I mean, it's servo motors. It doesn't have a soul. Okay, but this leads to the discussion of sex robot slaves that are coming in the future, where someone will buy a sex robot. She'll be perfect. And he can program her, right? There's little dip switches in the back of the neck, and you just flick them on and off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. I imagine a lot of people would probably be happy with that. I don't know. I might not be myself. I mean, I kind of like living organisms. I'm kind of that carbon-14 sort of approach.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. So, surely, I think we've peaked. So, in terms of our future releases, then, so we all know Licorice Quartet Threesome Volume 3. I'm assuming, I would like to think that it has some really silly name just to fuck with everyone instead of Threesome Volume 3. I'm guessing that's not official yet, is it?
The release of EP3 is underway. We're finishing it up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for everyone's patience. Of course, things being what they are, it took a little time.
Very cool. And I'm guessing, I would assume that any sexist stuff may wait until Licorice Quartet has, done its thing, just to, because you can release too many things in one go, I guess.
You can get overwhelmed, yeah. And
but there is more sexist to come.
Yes, I have some tracks recorded, and it's just, when am I going to seriously sit down and be able to address finishing them? But they're in different states of completion. And yeah, that's what's up on the sexist front.
At least you're not making promises on dates like Jason Faulkner, because he's like, yeah, there's an album coming soon. And then 5 years later, it's like, yep, it's coming soon. So,
I want to pop the blister in my soul. You know what I mean? Like, I want it to be done.
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't want to belabor any of it. I mean, even at the risk of it not even maybe even being finished in a way, like maybe it's just sometimes better to not think about it. And but I go through stages where I'll also be incredibly anal about it too, and trying to reconcile all that. It just takes time, you know.
And Jason is fine with me joking with him about that, because when he says soon, I'm like, soon for you is not soon, mate.
No, it takes time. It's like things have to marinate. It's just so all dependent on,
yeah,
you know, it's different for everyone.
Have you ever been in the same room as Jason? I'd imagine like antimatter would explode if that happened. Like, I don't know. I'm just imagining like a Mortal Kombat fight with guitars as swords.
Oh God, no! I think we wouldn't have a Mortal Kombat fight, man.
Okay.
We'd be like, "Hey, what key is this in?" I mean, you know.
But you've never been in the same room as Jason. Like, I'm fascinated by this. Like,
man, what is this? A setup question?
I'm not. I don't think Jason's here. You know, like, I'm just wondering. Like, have you ever been in the same room as Jason Faulkner?
Yes, I have, apparently.
Oh, okay. Inquiring minds want to know. Yeah.
I think I had dinner with him once, and I think I was probably pretty trashed for some reason. So, yeah, I was definitely trashed. But somebody said, "Hey, you had dinner with Jason," and I went, "I did?" He goes, "Yeah, years ago." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm losing my fucking mind." So I would like to meet him, you know, again, and of course, and I support him, you know, love his work, but that's my true confession there.
Did you think I was trying to trap?
Sorry.
Do you think I was trying to trap you there as some kind of like journalistic cul-de-sac or something? Just to, you know.
Oh God, no. God, no.
I'm not clever enough to do that, and you know.
Hey, what's the whole thing about you meeting Jane? Yeah, no, you're not like that.
It was a very close call as well when to enter the group, the Jellyfish group. One of the security questions was who's the sexiest member of Jellyfish, and you and Jason would rank quite highly up there. There was also best hair, favorite flavor of ice cream. And some of the answers were just like, why the fuck are you asking me this? But I'm just like, well, just to see if you're an actual fan, you see.
Right. Known as today's CAPTCHA.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like a team beat question, isn't it? Like that's what I'm trying to make these interviews like, just, you know, just like Team Beat magazine type of questions. Right.
Well, we were touring with Leif Garrett in 1977. He had just done a string of opening dates for Aerosmith and, oh gosh, insert name there. Donna Summer.
Basically, my interviews have no substance to them, but they're a rollicking good time, hopefully. So
they may have no substance, but you know, you're looking at a vacuum of a person here. I'm telling you.
Husk of a man. Well, look, Eric, I will stop wasting your time. And I want to thank everyone for continuing to enjoy Jellyfest. This is a one-time thing. This won't be a yearly thing because I've developed many grey hairs trying to put this together. And I want to thank you for taking part in this as well. And we obviously look forward to Licorice Quartet, Threesome Volume 3, and other such sundries. I don't know. I speak some shit. I don't know where I'm going half the time with some of my words.
Well, me either.
Okay. Well,
I want to thank everyone at Jellyfest, and you know, we all love you, and continue onward. Be happy, prosper, and yada yada.
I can't do that.
Oh, you can with some practice.
Really? I feel like I would have to break a finger to be able to do that.
Quite easy.
This is why I can't play guitar as well. I've got little short, stubby fingers.
You know, this is how Madonna learned too. She was like, it's all, you know, really it is. When you boil it down, it's really all about Bob Fosse.
And on that note, we'll move on to our next artist and want to thank you again.
All right. Laters.